Janice, are you there?
At your service, sir.
Give me some of that dating foolishness.
Will do, sir.
Yeah, girls are more selfish than that, you know? Like you just don't hear about girls trying to help other girls come up another level because they just don't care.
Welcome to Manosphere Highlights Daily. Shout out to Mr. McKinney for this video. This is his message. Women in prison aren't loyal, with the link to the video below. Thank you, Mr. McKinney, for this video. Salute! As a sociology enthusiast, I find videos like this incredibly intriguing. Shout out to Fresh Out for this video. You can find the link in the description. As I often emphasize in our content, the environment has a profound impact on human behavior. So if you want to see changes in women's behavior, you've got to change the environment they're in. This video takes a closer look at how women act in a prison setting, which is totally different from their everyday life. It's a fascinating look into how where you are can affect how you behave. That's why I took my talents overseas early. Different environment, different culture equals different behavior. Let's get it. Now it's time for us to get into this and do what we gotta do. Because we many.
Well, girls you know aren't gay around, pretty much. I don't know if it's like boredom or what, but everybody gets down, pretty much. I mean, there's a few that are like, no, I don't swing that way, but.
What about women that were married?
Married women f*** around in there too. It don't matter, for real. But like, some of them take it serious and some of them don't. Some of them promise they're gonna leave their husbands when they get out. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then but the girl always gets dusted in the end.
Okay, I want to put some emphasis on this. One of the most common sexual fantasies of women is same-sex fantasies, but it goes deeper than that. Gen Z women are identifying as bisexual in unprecedented numbers, but are they just following a trend? Well, there is research. Women are more likely to become bisexual than men, say scientists. Janice, read.
Lead researcher Dr. Elizabeth McClintock, from the University of Notre Dame, Indiana, said, women with some degree of attraction to both males and females might be drawn into heterosexuality if they have favorable options in the heterosexual partner market. Women who are initially successful in partnering with men, as is more traditionally expected, may never explore their attraction to other women.
Did you hear that, guys? Favorable options. Let's continue.
However, women with the same sexual attractions, but less favorable heterosexual options might have greater opportunity to experiment with same-sex partners.
Again, favorable options. So what do you think will happen when a woman is in prison? Check this out.
It's not very often that you'll see them actually get to be together on the streets.
No, not often at all. It's not even often that like you end up being friends. You know what I mean? Like you don't even keep contact with your friends half the time.
So would you say that most of the relationships in there are strictly prison relationships?
Yes. Yes.
Why you think that is? Why you think that it's not like a continued friendship? And I mean, because I know like quite a few of the guys I was friends with, I still keep in touch with now, but these were guys that I felt like we had a similar interest.
There might be a little bit of that, like as far as friends or whatever, but like for the most part, it's just women are not loyal. You know, they're just not.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's rough. And girls in there, like they'll jump from one girl to the next girl to the next girl.
Why you think that is? When you think like typically a relationship on the street, you see a guy and he's like, oh, he's not loyal. He's just always trying to come up, or you know.
Oh, girls do that shit too.
Yeah.
Yes. Like girls will straight scout out. Oh, she looks like she has money when you hit the yard, and for real.
Oh wow.
and when girls aren't gay, they fall for it. You know what I mean? If a girl's not gay and they don't know how other women run game, like they get.
favorable options, fellas. Take a look at this graph, which reveals a steady increase in the percentage of individuals identifying as LGBTQ over the years. Millennials have seen significant growth, while Gen Z has nearly doubled the percentage. We recognize that environmental and societal factors play a substantial role in the evolution of the LGBTQ community. It's no coincidence that an unprecedented number of Gen Z women are identifying as bisexual. This can be attributed to two key factors. Firstly, modern society has become more accepting of diverse sexual orientations. Secondly, as Dr. Elizabeth McClintock's research suggests, identifying as bisexual can provide women with the opportunity to have more favorable options when it comes to relationships. So women's hypergamous nature is universal, but women also tend to be sexually aroused by both men and women. So it's not just about financial resources. Interestingly, this trend is not mirrored among men, who predominantly identify as heterosexual. So for these women that lead with the familiar shaming language calling you gay when you disagree with them or don't want to date them, only a small percentage of men are gay.
So would you say like there's like, it's the same thing where you have a guy who's a player out here, you have women in there who know how to specialize in turning out other straight women?
Yes. Yes. Women who don't care if you're gay or not. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is there a lot of women in there that actually have men coming in there to still see them, and they're, you know, the men are actually holding them down, or is that a rare thing?
There's a lot of women who have men hold them down while they're f***ing around inside, but they're running game on the men for the money. There's a lot of that shit. And then, right, another girl that got close to that girl will steal her dude, start writing him, he'll get on her visitation list, start putting money on her books. It's like, I'm telling you, there's no loyalty.
Now, in that situation, because I know where guys do the same thing. They get them they call it like a prison pen pal, and they get them a prison 10 to get out with, to kind of get on their feet. Do a lot of the women look to game guys the same way to get on their feet, or do they generally care about the guys they're writing, or they know that these guys are just stepping stones?
They don't care at all. If they care, it's because they haven't had interaction with a man in so long that they just think they're head over heels. But for the majority, it's like, he's dumb. He continues to put money on my books, and I'm gonna keep running this. Unless they get tired of him and they pass him to somebody else. I mean, I've seen that shit happen too.
She just gave an indication of why we call it dating foolishness. To be fair, she's talking about prison inmates. So these are extreme cases. However, I've said it many times on this channel. Women red-pilled me. And what she just said about men being dumb is exactly what a woman told me. And when she said it, I immediately understood what she was talking about because of the context in which she said it. It was a work situation, and I saw her talking to this customer. Looking at that body language, I just knew something not work-related was their conversation. When the dude left, she came back to the counter with a smile on her face, and she said, "Men are so dumb. I just knew what happened, but I asked her anyway, what do you mean?" She said the guy wanted her number, and she told him she was hungry. The guy replied, "Do you want me to bring you some food?" She said, "Only if you want to." So the guy went to the McDonald's to get her some food. She laughed out loud and said she doesn't have to do anything. She doesn't even have to ask. And men are willing to give her the world. I immediately understood she was right. However, what had me pondering for a while was her perception of men as dumb instead of viewing them as attractive for giving her the world. This context applies to women in prison. What value do these women provide to these men, considering that men are willing to provide them with all of their resources, money, free attention, etc.? It's not a coincidence why women are attracted to men who are a challenge, men who are unpredictable, men they can't seem to figure out. But at the end of the day, In order for women to extract resources from men, they need men to voluntarily give their resources to them. They need men to be foolish. They need men to fall in love because that love chemical makes you dumb. If not, they need you to think with your little head. Because if you think with your little head, you are going to act the foolishness. Remember, my co-worker didn't force that man to do anything. She just said she was hungry and he did the rest. We men are not obligated to entertain women. That's why they shame us when we don't. But if we do provide, we're considered dumb because they would not provide their resources for nothing in return. Women date up. They have no interest in providing for men. Learn to control your DICK, fellas. Post not clarification mode. Your time, money, and energy is valuable. Don't waste it.
I seen that happen in prison too. Like, hey man, I'm about to get out. You can start writing her now. Blah 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 blah. Have you heard of any Hollywood endings of like women getting out and actually, oh, this guy right here, and they run off into the sunset, or a lot of these women just go off and they either hook up with another guy when they get out, or it's something to pass the time with?
Truthfully, the only ending like that I know is mine.
We made this channel for men. That's why we started this channel. Not because we hate women. It's because men's voices need to be heard, and men need to be educated on the foolishness that's going on so they can protect themselves at all times. The channel is called Manosphere Highlights Daily. We highlight men's issues, female nature, and the effects of society on human behavior. We encourage you to become the best man that you can be. But if you want to know how to do push-ups, then you have to go to the push-ups channel. If you want to know about money, you have to go to the money channel. I've said it many times on this channel that I took my talents overseas. I had to look for content that could help me with that. So I watched a combination of channels: push-up channels, money channels, travel channels, language channels, and manosphere channels. Everything that I had to do to become the best version of myself. You can do anything if you put your mind to it. You know why? Because we men, ain't we? We men, ain't we? Manosphere, we working. Protect yourself at all times. This video has officially been highlighted.